Yep, you read the title correctly. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Palmisano here, and today's going to be good. Today, we do Rush. I've never done Rush on this channel, but I was caught in the YouTube vortex last night, and I found the three of them drinking wine and having dinner for like 4 hours together. Anybody that hasn't seen that, that's what a band should be. That's what a group of people should be. Not only are they aligned musically, but they are clearly incredible friends and have been for decades. And it's such a shame that we lost Neil. But man, this is one of like the quintessential groups. I'm such a huge fan, and I don't know why it's taken me so long to do this, to react to them on this channel. So I woke up today and I said, I'm going to go on Guitargate, and I'm going to see if someone has some Rush for me. So here I am. I'm on here. R-U-S-H. Hit the button. Got Otis Rush. That counts. I don't know which one that is. Between the Wheels. Don't know what that one is. I know this one. I know Rush. Xanadu. Oh, look. Charlie Hunter. Crushing. Kids Crush 46 and 2. I don't know why that came up. I guess Rush. Crush. It's in there. Got it. I don't know Between the Wheels. But, oh, what's this say? Mark McConnell says, playback on other websites has been disabled, but you can watch on YouTube. All right, deal. Mark McConnell, by the way, thanks for being a subscriber, Mark, says, I'm new to the guitar. I'm just wondering what it is about these ominous beginning chords that draw me into the song. Once I hear them, I'm hooked. They seem ominous. They allow the song Dissonance to sound cool and intriguing. Curious to hear your response. I'm curious to hear this tune. Now, obviously, thank you. I'm a Rush fan, but that doesn't mean I know their whole discography. I don't think I know this song. If I have heard it, I certainly haven't learned it before. Let's hit the button. Oh, let's get settled in here. I know it's going to be good.
So much. We'd like to do something now that goes back to our Grace Under Pressure album. This is one we pulled out of the vault. It's called Between the Wheels. In between time, cruising in bright time, soaking up the cathode rays. Live between the wars and
so heavy.
Living in real time, holding the good times, holding on to yesterday.
Okay, all right, we're gonna go back. First things first, is there a three-piece that sounds as big as them? I don't think so. Absolutely monstrous. And man, obviously, you guys know me. You know how I feel about drummers. You're only as good as your drummer. It's the professor, right? I have forgotten how huge and epic Alex sounds. Those Hughes and Kettners are screaming. That was so heavy. That was so big. Okay, let's get some of this. Now, we're in the neighborhood of D. Looks like drop D. Basically, I let it play for a little while. You saw me do one of these, get the key center of D. I saw him doing some open string, like flat 3-2 open kind of thing. So I'm assuming it's drop D. I don't feel like retuning, but just know that if you hit an open string, it's going to be D. In the bottom. What I really love about this intro here, and I'll figure out the chords in a second. I'm pretty sure I saw him snag this. Again, the power of video. What I really love about this intro is how they're really not rushing this offbeat rock reggae kind of vibe. It is really like tempered, you know. It's like it'd be very easy to rush this. And watch Getty keeping time with his foot. I'm assuming there's a click or something in the in-ears, but it is spot on, spot on.
Between the wheels.
So you don't know it's offbeats when it starts. But that snare lets you know it. And you guys, again, groove. Take this to the bank. Groove is not when you come in or when you go out, right? It's the duration of which in between and the dynamic content in between that connects the in and the out. That's the groove, right? Hi-hats, baby. Hi-hats. He is the king of this. Listen, I mean, when this comes in, you think this is on the beat. It's on the one, right? And then as soon as you get that hi-hat draw, you realize something's wrong. And then he snaps it out with the perfect of the hi-hat and smack of the snare. Immediately you realize you're on the backbeat. And your heart just stops. And you're just like, it's a freaking Rush reggae vibe. But the key to it all is the hi-hat. It's the listen. Taste. Hi-hat. Okay, the tritone is the reason. Matt, I think it's Matt. The tritone is the reason it sounds so ominous. Here's what's happening. D is your pedal tone. Huge, screaming, drop D. Just, there's a lot happening in here. Just huge, right? Letting it ring. And you got this, F and B. That tritone, 2 notes, a flat 5 apart, that's what creates the tritone. That demands resolution. Typically, we get the tritone. Its main function, I just made a video about this, is being the third and the flat 7 of a dominant chord, right? In this scenario, it's interesting because we're in the neighborhood of D minor. D minor, right, sounds like our key center. But they're actually using this tritone with the minor third in at F to create the tension. And then, oh, does it do that? I hope he plays a C with that. It looks like Alex is playing it, right? Like this triad, like this. Going to an A minor triad. But if it were me, if I were covering this tune, if Getty doesn't do it in the keyboards, I'm going to nerd out on you real quick. I would put a C in the bass. It's like to get that, also that half step between B and C. So this would be like a super suspension to a. But anyway, what's happening here is you're using the third. Like this could easily be written off as just a D minor 6, you know, root, minor third, major 6th. But you're using this third in the part that has tension, and then you're resolving it to that A minor triad still over D, which gives you a flat 7, a 9, and a 5. So there's no third, it's floaty. This is that a Rush kind of thing. It's just, there's always that floatiness to it. And generally, that is when you suspend the third for either the 4, which is above, or the 2, 9, which is below. And so that's what's happening. But man, it would be super bitchin' if they had the C in there. Anyhow, let's get a little of what Alex is doing. Now, broad strokes here. I know it seems like I'm picking this out of the air, but I'm assuming it's D minor, and I'm using the video, right? So I can see pushing that B into C, which again would work with that, right? But of course C is your flat 7 of D, so it would work anyway. But coming from that major 6th in a minor tonality, again, I'm thinking Dorian, I'm thinking badass, right? Just G, A, and B down there, and then I'm thinking he goes up D, F, and D, like that. Root minor 3rd, 3rd. And then a second time. Goes right for that harmonic on the 7th fret of the 3rd string, which is D, which is 1 octave up. It's unison. Love that note. Everything.
In between a rock and a hard place, in between time, cruising in bright light, soaking up the cathode rays. In between the wars in our time,
This pitch is so good.
real time, loving the good times, holding on to yesterday. You know how that driver feels, going under your speeding wheel. Right images flashing by, like the windshield towards the sky. Holding in the
Feels
middle
good, man.
line, but the wheel of time just passed you by. Wheels can take you around. Wheels can touch you down. You can go from boom to bust, from dreams to a bowl of dust. We can fall from nothing to flare. Down to brother, can you spare another war, another wasteland, another lost generation?
Look at Alex. Okay, so what do we get in here? Again, broad strokes, not note for note. Your basic thing that happens in here. We go from D minor to C major to G major. Now, how did I pick up on those? One, I learned a crap load of tunes, right? So what you saw me do was 1, flat 7, because I know the sound of 4. That's one of my favorite progressions of all time. Root movements, 1, flat 7, 4. But we know that the 1 is minor. So we heard that hint of Dorian before when he went coming in with B. We know there's a B. So I'm thinking B Dorian or D Dorian. So what does that mean to me? That means that this D is a 2. It's a 2 even though we're feeling it like this is home base, we're structuring the whole thing around this being 2. So that means this would be 1. We're really in the key of C major, all the white keys on the keyboard, G, and our other chords in here when it went down, F major, and it went down again, right? E minor. So I'm just using basic music theory, making educated guesses, and that'll give me the basic framework. Now, the one thing I'm hearing throughout all of these chords is that Rush floatiness. I'm hearing suspensions. Now, again, if I were going to gig with this tune, I'd spend hours and figure it all out. But my gut feeling is that D minor 7, doing that big, just add 9 or sus like 1 5 1 9 5 thing sounds great with a lot of distortion. Amps like this that bleed real well, letting that just get rid of that third altogether, it just sings and it works over major and minor chords. Do it from the C, right? Now, I didn't see him doing it with the G here. I saw him playing the G or some variation of it up here. Now, he could be sus4ing it. I don't think I heard that. I feel like it was 9s. But anyway, just remember, sus means you're suspending the third, whether it's flat or regular, for either the 4 above or 2 below. And then when it goes to what I guess I would call the bridge part, it distinctly modulates from the D minor to its relative major, F major, right? So that is the focus. So we're going from D Dorian, that's the 2 chord, to the 4 chord being our focus, right? So F Lydian, again, floaty, floaty, floaty. And so when you hear it go from the F, G, E minor, F, I think they were letting the open G ring throughout there and just lifting the finger up and letting the 3rd and the 1st string ring. Something like that. But those are my educated Rush guesses. You hear floaty, you think remove the 3rd, you think those big chords. And when you play in a 3-piece like this, you gotta move a lot of air. You gotta choose voicings which don't cause a lot of conflict and allow that texture, that landscape to just fill the entire sonic sphere, right? So you can't get bogged down in a lot of these close voicings with a lot of crap going on, right? You gotta let it breathe. And they do it about as good as you can do it. Man, I miss this band. All right, let's keep going. I'm getting stuck in the weeds, getting nerdy. You know how it goes here. Snare drum. What was that?
Slips between your hands like water. It's given in real time. A fleeting lifetime.
How good is Getty?
Fading by on celluloid. Right between the eyes by the decoy.
Just adding those double snare hits when Geddy Lee starts singing in that higher register, it just elevates it. Just the next verse, just take it one step up. Those little pushes. Nobody does it better than that. Flat 3-4-0. That pride. Yeah. Definitely those sus chords. Oh, the syncopations are coming. Who comes in like that? the best band ever. All right. Check it. Let's get a little bit of Alex. Let's see what he's doing here. Look, he's got that grin out. He's ready to roll. Nobody sounds like him. Nobody sounds like his phrasing, just the way he comes. It's such... He's one of those people, man. They just sound like them. Here we go. Let's find it. Hit the button. Step on it. Start with the... Right? I mean, coming in before... Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. So this is like my process, right? This is what... I feel I'm doing this a lot. Feeling manic today. You know, you have those peaks and valleys. Do a peak, man. Rush is peaking me. We're peaking. I can see, but I'm thinking D minor, right? So I'm you know, I can see second finger. He's on D on the second string, and first it looks like he's anchoring on C, the flat 7. Now, so when he comes in here, that's going to be my starting place. Where are we in here? Again, educated guesses, you know, experienced use of basic music theory. So it sounds like basically 3 notes. Okay, so here's the thing. Not going to be note for note. Your key takeaway is I'm not hearing F. That's the minor third. Remember, third creates chord function more than any other note. The third is the most important chord, tone in a chord, right? That's what makes it what it is. Because the root and fifth can be the same whether it's major or minor. It's the third that creates the function. So I'm looking for that F. The fact that it comes in E, D, C, bending up to that E, adds to that floatiness. It's that Rush thing. They're just like in the intro. Like the tension included the third, right? The F, but the resolution didn't. It was suspended. And in these chords, right? It's suspended. It that thing. So it doesn't surprise me that he comes in shooting for the 9, root, and flat 7. I bet it continues. This is the sound of Rush. I need to do, you guys know I do these hit song formulas. I know I've only done one, but where you analyze a catalog, not just a tune, and you see the threads of what makes a hit for that song. This floaty sound, this thirdless thing, I bet it's in so many Rush tunes. It has to be. It has to be. The sound just makes sense. Do it again. Now, for all you out there, I don't care if you're a beginner or super advanced, just know this. It takes a lot of gall to bend through the root. Because if you don't get there, baby, you know, it's the dog's bollocks. You can't do it. You can't do it, right? You have to. You got to get to that 9. You do. So I always respect people that just come in and bend the root like that and just say, go for it. But again, if you get to that 9, it gives you that searing, floaty thing without playing a third. Yeah. What do we have here? Root, 9, 4. Notice what's missing here. The third. This is purposeful. This is purposeful. Remember, when you suspend the third, it's usually with the 9 or the 4. You get both here. So, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? We're on to something here. G, which is the fourth of D. Bending up to A, which is the fifth. Hammering on E, which is what? The 9. Again, we are purposefully avoiding thirds. Position to position to position. Bending to the 9, right? Aiming for the 4. Going to the 5. This is what time it is. This is what Alex is doing. And it's just single note sears, right? Just into the skies. There. D, C, flat 7. There. Love that bend right back to it. Again, I'm just guessing, okay? I'm guessing that he's targeting something that's not the third, right? And it just sounds like an arpeggio going across, and we did that C. So I just guessed we're in the key of C major. We're gonna hit this little arpeggio. Sounded like it. But that phrasing, but the fact that, look, what you're trying to do here is you're shooting for that D, or for that G, the fourth of D. That's the point. That's the point. Love that triplet run. Okay, so the form starts over the verse, right? That D minor, and then it goes to the chorus, where it switches again to, all right, D Dorian to F Lydian, right? But F major is your basic vibe. So he comes in here, and he got like this open string kind of thing happening. This. Something like this. Sounds like there's a little flub in there. Right? E, F. So you get a third here. Just like a little tease. Yeah. Or open. It would all be in keys. Something like that. But that's the key. And why is this important? You got F, A, and you got C. This is important because we're going to F major. We're going to F major. And what are we doing to get to F major? Now we're going to focus straight up F major arpeggio. That jump, super linear, but this A is the major third of F, and C is the fifth of F. So this is setting up that resolution for when we finally get to, or however they do it, right? How floaty they want to make it. But it's just like in the intro, where it's like, you have that dissonance, and then that resolution, this part, then that part, then this part, then that part, but it's swapped. So now that this chorus part is major, and you've been avoiding the thirds the whole time, and you start playing them, really adds to that yin and yang, like where it went away, we went home. Dissonant tension, release. It's absolutely masterful, and Alex is outlining it in such a silly, like, playful, exuberant way that only he does. I'm such a fan. Such a fan. You guys are seeing me in full nerd mode right now. Yeah, that. Sorry, my camera turned off. This is kind of how it goes when you go full nerd like this. It gets carried away, and these videos become very long. But for all you true fans out there, for all you aspiring guitar players, I hope you find this entertaining and helpful. I'm learning a bunch. I feel like we're on to something. Let's keep going. that little triplet run. So you got that. Whatever. It's D Dorian, it's F Lydian. Remember, you got that 3 and sharp 4 if you're thinking in terms of F. It's basically got that B in there, right? Don't forget about that B. But the point is, you're kind of going down like straight, and then you switch to that triplet thing, and it's kind of like like Neil does it sometimes. He'll do one, he'll do the other. It's just an awesome band.
Wheels can take you around. Wheels can cut you down. We can fall from
And that snare, look how commanding it is. It's like, you know what the beat is?
Lost generation.
This must be so much fun to play. Hit it. Yeah, Kenny. Exactly. So he's hitting it like higher. Oh man, and look at his face afterwards. And he's just, oh man, we're all the same people. Yeah. Who sent me this? Mark McConnell. Mark, dude, thank you. You made my day. I didn't know how much I needed Rush in my life right now. Okay. Key takeaways. 1, this is a close group of guys. This is what a band should be. This is what relationships should be like in person and in life and in music and everything. They're having so much fun. They are so tight. They're on the same path. It is like, I mean, they're one of the best bands of all time because of it, frankly. And there's so many stories about how tight they are. And like everything they look, again, I was watching Rush stuff last night. They're just an awesome group of people. And Neil, man, literally, one of my all-time favorites. One of my all-time. Hey, guys, I'm filming. Give me 2 minutes. All right. Sounds like I have to go. Anyhow, the thing that really stands out in here is the floatiness. The floatiness of avoiding the thirds, whether it's in these parts, right? These parts, or in Alex's actual lead guitar playing, where it's clearly on purpose. And that really makes sense to me, especially when you look at the chord structure and you're like, D Dorian, F Lydian. How am I going to solo over that? Well, if you just remove all the thirds from your parts, it's just going to give you this floaty, spacey sound. And you're just kind of like, man, I feel like this is a Rush thing. I'm going to have to learn more of their tunes and kind of get the formula thing. But it can give you that kind of modal, spatial thing. But like, you're not getting muddied down and all the BS, right? You're not playing a bunch of these close things, and causing all these issues. It's just that landscape and that texture, and you can sound huge in it. You can play in tons of gain because that bleed isn't too tight. It allows the drums to be big. And obviously I haven't dissected the lyrics or learned the melody, but I'm going to, because this has started me down a little path here. Anyway, my kids are banging down the door. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this entertaining and educational. Please consider subscribing if you can tell it's a little different. You like live music, we do it live. You like the whole guitar aspect of things. And if you want to take it a step farther, like Mark, I would love to be your online teacher. I'd love to teach you the things that you see me do step by step, and so you can work on it yourselves. And just like Mark, you get to pick what comes next as one of my students. It's one of my little perks of saying thank you to everybody that supports me, because this is how I make a living. This is how I support my family. I teach guitar on the internet. It's amazing. So if you want to join, there's an incredible community of people just posting videos, encouraging everybody to pick it up every day, try to get a little bit better. And that's it. That's my little pitch. Know that I love you all. Go listen to some Rush. You need it. Look, now they're playing drums. I guess I can't get too upset about that. Opening the garage door. Time to go. Cheers. Oh my gosh.